Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode on Yinka's Meals. Yay! We made it to episode 3. I'm so grateful for everyone who has listened, who has come on this journey with me. I'm thankful for everyone who has shared my podcast, talked about it. I'm actually also grateful for the feedbacks I've gotten. They've been tremendous. Also, I got listeners from Australia and I also got listeners from Turkey. That's apart from my Nigerian listeners. So I'm very happy. Yay! Okay, so let's get right to it because I've been thinking about what are we going to talk about today. Okay, so I thought about an idea. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about it and I'll be sharing personal experiences. We'll be talking about not everyone will support you and that's okay. You know, like when I started blogging like 9 years ago. And at the time, it was just because I wanted to write. You know, I come up with ideas. I'm a good storyteller. And I just wanted to put out things there. So I had a journal. I've always had a journal from secondary school. And so I'll put out my ideas and I'll write stuff. And then I met someone who told me to start a blog. So I started a blog, but it wasn't as effective as I would love to, which means I wasn't putting out content on a daily basis on the blog. But as my audience grew and I started getting more confident in the things I was writing and I started sharing my links, I remember then that I used to actually get pissed. Not like pissed, but I would say maybe semi-annoyed when I share my links with friends and, you know, because I expected that you're my friend now. I expect you to support me, you know, share my link, read it. And it's not like I'm not grateful, you know, for the friends who just come on this journey with me blindly. Like, okay, my friend is doing this. I'm going to support her at all costs. But I think as I grew at the time, at first I felt entitled to the fact that, oh, my friend is meant to support me, my friend is meant to do this, or sometimes my family member is meant to do this. And when they do not, you know, when I don't get that kind of support the way I expected it, I would feel hurt. Like, you know, you're meant to have my back. And because I know I'm a kind of person that once my friend is doing something, like, I have your back, like every time I have your back. Like, so I have friends who started businesses, maybe they went into tailoring or what have you, and even if I could not afford it, I would just try. I'll make a dress, I'll tell someone about your business. So I'm that kind of person. So I think by the time I started blogging, I started writing, I started creating content, I actually wanted my friends to actually give me that same support. And it's not like my friends didn't support me, they did. I'm just putting it out there because I have a friend listening. But what I'm trying to say is that I actually grew in the point of my, you know, putting out content. Because at first, when I said putting out content, when people that I know who are friends with me or who are related with me, you know, when they don't share my content, I can even come to your inbox and ask you that, did you read my post? I've read my post. And, you know, I can even be pissed with you. I remember that there was a time I didn't talk to a friend for like 2 to 3 months because, you know, the kind of what would I call it now? The kind of way I wanted her to support my work, she wasn't giving me that. And I felt entitled. I felt hurt. Like, I support you, I support everything you do, but you don't give me that same support back. So as I grew, I came to an understanding at first. One of the understanding I came was that sometimes it's not like they don't support you. Maybe sometimes it's not like they don't support you, but perhaps maybe they don't believe in what you're doing. And sometimes they might even support you and believe in what you're doing, but they don't have the time and the energy, you know, to give you that support that you actually need. And I think I held on to that for a very, very long time. So I felt, okay, so if I'm doing something and my friend does not support me, probably don't have the time and energy for it, or maybe they don't believe in it. So I grew from the point of getting pissed to the point of thinking, okay, maybe they don't have the energy for it, or maybe they don't have the support or time, or maybe they don't believe in it. But a couple of weeks back, I think 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I read something online, and the lady who shared that was saying, you know, she has started a lot of businesses and she has had friends who have never bought from her. And it's not because these friends do not support her or whatever she's doing. It's just because probably they cannot afford it at the time. And she was saying that we should learn to cut our friends or our family members some slack. You know, when you start out a new venture, when you start out a new business, and, you know, you kind of expect that the first people who would rally around you would be your family member, would be your friends. In a lot of cases, sometimes they are not the ones. Sometimes they are strangers, people who get to just meet you and fall in love with what you're doing. And I think in the long run, that's where we should focus our energy on. As much as we would like our family and friends to be our backbone, as much as we would like our family and friends to support us in what we are doing, to talk about us, like, yeah, my girl is doing this, my girl is doing that, like I'm doing a podcast now. As much as I would like my friends to do that, whenever I post whenever I put up a post on my blog, I share my links with friends, I put it on my WhatsApp, I put it on all my social media platforms. I even chat some of my friends up privately to like, oh, share my content, I have posted a new stuff, you guys should please read it. As much as I want them to, when it turns out that they do not, I've grown to the point where I do not take offense anymore. I understand that it's not that they don't support me, it's not that they don't believe in what I'm doing. They're just also dealing with stuff on their own, stuff that it's not like they cannot make room for mine, but probably they have a lot to deal with on their plate at the moment. So I've just learned to just give them their own space to do things on their own. Eventually they will catch up. And if they do not, it's still fine. It does not mean they love you less. It does not mean they love you more. Okay, guys, so that's the end of today's podcast. Has everyone in your life ever supported you on this journey? Whatever it is you're doing, either a business venture, or you're into academic, it could be something that you just met people and they did not come around. How did you deal with it? I'd like to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.